with the game on the line. Is Jalen Brunson the man you want with the ball in his hands? Is Jalen Brunson that dude officially?
Why would I not pick him? You gonna ask me that question this morning? This morning you gonna ask me that question? This morning you gonna ask me that question? Listen. Thompson, Thompson. I mean, he has a very, very bright future. Him and his brother, man. I mean, they're fabulous young players. They've got nothing but promise. We hope Asoka's gonna recover from what Brunson did to him. Look at that move. Oh my God. I mean, did you see it? I know you saw it because you're looking at it right now. I mean, just the man is on skates. Okay, he's alone on an island against Jalen Brunson. And listen, I don't know how to explain how this brother, this lefty, doesn't have much hops or whatever, but so skilled, footwork is marvelous, knows how to set you up, such a brilliant basketball mind. I mean, this dude is something special. I don't know of anybody whose hands I want the ball in with the money on the line right now, considering what we've seen him do pretty much all year long. Only shot 43% from the field during this series at clutch time, all right? Ever played over 20 minutes. Didn't have one single turnover, by the way, in clutch time. I think that's important to point out. But this is a guy in Jalen Brunson that comes to New York City, okay? I mean, we're talking about the days of Clyde Frazier and Earl of Pearl Monroe, to the Patrick Ewings of the world, to the Carmelo Anthonys of the world. Let's not forget Stephon Marbury was in the mix and others. But Jalen Brunson is just a different dude. He's on another level, and he just continues to show it. I don't know how anybody can definitively say there's somebody else that they would prefer at this particular moment in time, even with Steph Curry being the greatest shooter on the planet, okay? Even with that being the case, when you look at Jalen Brunson and the ball is in his hands and it's money time on the line, he just usually makes great things happen. I got to give it to him.
I'm with you, S.A. I've known him since he's been 4 years old. When him and his dad, I played with Rick Brunson with the Bulls. He'll come and work out at the Bertle Center. He's always had that type of mentality in everything he's done. More 30-point playoff games than Clyde Drexler, Patrick Ewing, Dominique Wilkins. He is on his way to the iconic plays in all of basketball. And, we talked about this the other day. Most clutch player, he's either number 1, 2, or 3 in clutch field goals made, free throws made, assists, and usage. So I have to say this, though, S.A. How does J.B. Bickerstaff allow the ball to be in his hands? I hear the shot. The shot was incredible. But if you look at the play, Deuce McBride, OG Anunoby, some of the other players on the court, how do you allow the one player on the court where everybody knows where the ball is going? Everybody knew it. How do you play him straight up defensively? How do you not throw a double team at him to get the ball out of his hands? If there's anybody, force Deuce McBride to take the shot to beat you on the. That's the one thing you have to do. I love the shot. The shot was incredible. That is the headline. I understand it.
Move was
but
incredible.
The undercurrent of that, though, S.A., how do you allow that brother to take that shot in that moment?
Before Wendy chimes in here, I'd like to say this. We've seen LeBron hit some game winners. How was he allowed to get the ball? We've seen MJ hit game winners. How was he allowed to get the ball? We've seen Kobe do it. How was he allowed to get the ball? Damian Lillard, we've seen him. How was he allowed to get the ball? You know what? Great players
I got one for you, though.
find a way to get the shot.
I got one for you. Put up that play again. Run the play. Show the play of the last shot. Put it up there. Watch that right corner. The corner where he drives to the left. It's overloaded on that side. It's overloaded on that side. Leave Deuce McBride. But pretty much Deuce McBride and OG Anunoby are holding hands. They're on a date. It's Valentine's Day in that corner. Okay? They're so close, there's no floor space, and one man can guard two. Throw a double team at him.
Jay, the only point I'm making is that the great ones find a way, no matter what you do, to have the ball in their hands and make the decisions when it counts. That's all I'm saying. I'm
going to tell you why, Jay. I'm going to tell you why. Because the Pistons have so much belief in Ausar Thompson. I know America is just learning about him, but the reason they played straight up, and it's fair to question it. It is fair to question it.
Yeah.
Because Ausar Thompson was great on defense in this game. In fact, the last 5 times that Brunson shot against Ausar Thompson coming down the stretch, he missed because he's got such great athleticism and such great length. And if you were going to criticize J.B. Bickerstaff, you could say, because midway through the fourth quarter, he took Ausar out and left Dennis Schroeder on Jalen, and Jalen scored several baskets on Schroeder. The play is just jaw-dropping. And I think one of the reasons he's able to make this play, we just talked about this on Get Up, I know that it's a triggering thing when you talk about how Jalen Brunson gets to the line. One of the things he does very well is draw fouls. If you want to call it a foul merchant, you want to call it brilliant, getting the line, whatever you want to call it. And Ausar Thompson has to guard against him getting to the line there. It's a tie game. He's got his hand on his right hip. He's trying to get around him. But the reason this is such a great play to me isn't just the clutch nature of it. It's because of how great a defender Ausar Thompson is. And to shake him like that, I mean, to me, it's like a great running back. We'll go through the generations here. For Mad Dog, I'll say that reminded me of Gale Sayers. For my generation, it reminded me of Barry Sanders. For Jalen, who grew up an Eagles fan, it looked like Saquon Barkley, putting his foot in the ground and changing positions so brilliantly. His left hand is so dominant. His ability to get to the line is so great. To hit that crossover like that against a defender like this is just brilliant. And the one thing I'm going to say, and I'll let it go. For decades, we were waiting for somebody to come in and grab the mantle to be a great New York Knick. We understand that the Knicks do not have a great history, but somebody had to want to be great in New York. Jalen Brunson wanted it. Number 11 will never be worn by another Knick going forward. I don't know what he'll ever be able to accomplish as the team, but number 11 is on the last jersey for a New York Knick, and he's got one of the friendliest contracts in the history of team sports to help the Knicks. What an amazing story.
Stephen A., obviously we've talked at length about Boston not being fully healthy. So with that being said, how far can this Knicks team push the Celtics?
I hate this question simply because of the timing of it and the fact that I'm a Knicks fan. I really don't appreciate this question being asked to me this early in the show, in the immediate aftermath of the New York Knicks having such a big moment last night. I really resent this.
You're the executive producer.
Well, listen.
What's going on?
Again, you know what? Sometimes you defer. Sometimes you defer to see the intent of others, okay? So clearly their intent was to hurt me. It was to hurt my feelings, okay? But that's all right. I'll forgive them. Listen. Anyone with sense, I can't see. I'll be proud of the Knicks if they get to 6 games because I see Boston at 5. Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, these are the Boston Celtics. These are the reigning defending NBA champions. This is one of the deepest teams in the league, one of the more experienced teams, even with Tatum and Brown being 28 and younger. Okay, in Brown's case, older, of course. But being 28 and younger, they've both been to at least 5 conference finals. They've been to 2 NBA finals. They're the reigning defending NBA champions, who, by the way, has a guy in Jason Tatum, as Jay Williams pointed out this other day, and accurately so. Listen, he may not be the face of the league. There's no excuse to say why he's not. Because the brother's one of the best players in the league. And Jay Williams, I got a question for you about Jason Tatum a little bit later on, but I'll wait until y'all speak to ask you that question. But Jason Tatum, I mean, this brother is special. Jaylen Brown is special. Pritchard is my 6th man of the year. Porzingis is a former Knick that showed up in the finals after having some time off and instantly took over the damn NBA Finals in Game 1 to let you know what he could do. Look at them. Look at Horford, old man Horford, looking 10 years young every time he plays. I can't see with their size, athleticism, experience, poise, shooting ability. It's a reason why they've annihilated the Knicks every time they played them this year. And I don't see how that's going to change, unfortunately. I am not a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm not delusional, all right, make you want to throw up because I'm so nauseating stuff. I am a realist. The New York Knicks, I see having very, very little chance. They're playing with house money because I don't know of anybody who knows basketball that legitimately sees the Knicks winning more than 1 game in this series.
Wendy?
Yeah, Stephen A., I don't mean to be patronizing to you or other Knicks fans, but if they get it to 6, I'd celebrate it almost like a win. Couple reasons. One, no one's taken the Celtics to 6. They're 20-4 in the playoffs the last 2 years. No one's taken them to 6. And by the way, Jason Tatum, despite that wrist injury, was awesome in that first-round series against the Magic. Last 3 games, 37, 36, 35, was just awesome. And even though Drew Holiday, who would be a primary defender on Jalen Brunson, is banged up with a hamstring, they have so many other options. They beat the Knicks by an average of 16 points a game in the 4 wins over them this year. The reason I say that getting to 6 would be a huge accomplishment is that the Knicks are playing a long game with the Celtics. I know this is not something that they can come out and say, but they are hoping and believing that the Celtics will not be able to keep this team together because of financial constraints. And so they just need to show that they're able to gain ground on them. And if they do that, it's a sort of a semi-victory in my eyes.
I'll let you guys both made the point for me. All I'm going to say is just recite to you very quickly what the Celtics are averaging against the Knicks in the 4 games they played this season.
125.
Points per game on 21 made threes on 43.5% shooting from the three-point line.
48.3 shooting from the three-point. 48.3 from the three-point line, 50% from the field. Okay? Last question. I know we got to run. Jay Williams, all the stuff that you say about Jason Tatum, you're absolutely right. Take some time to think about what explanation you could give me as to why that man was benched during the Olympics. It's not a subject Wendy likes me to address. But I want to hear from you because I've never heard from you on that.
Not taking the
bait. Yeah, I ain't asking you to, Wendy. You've already let your feelings be known.
He's asking me to go there,
Wendy.
Before I get into the Western Conference Series game last night, do you want to address that? Or you want me to just push it forward?
Why don't we push it forward? Why don't we leave that? Get a little.
You a little tease?
You doing it today, though. You doing it today. You ain't coming back next week. You do it today.
I have a lot to say about that.